In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect a mixer to PC for recording without an audio interface. I'm Zane, welcome to Simple Green Tech, where I do weekly audio tech tips, tutorials, and reviews to help you conquer the tech and unleash your creativity. Now for this video, I'm using the Behringer Xenyx 1002 mixer, but this method will work with most Behringer and Mackie mixers and similar ones to those. This is not a USB mixer, but it is extremely easy to set up. You just need a couple of cables, and your computer will need to have a headphone jack and an input jack. I know some laptops are dropping the input jack, and if that's your case, then all you need is a USB audio adapter. You can pick those up for around $8, or they range between $8 and $20. I'll link to one in the description so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll also link to the cables that I'm using so you can easily check those out too. Now let's jump in. Now what I recommend getting is a couple of cables like this. They have RCA on one end and 3.5 millimeter or 1/8 inch on the other end. And you're going to need 2 sets of these. So now let's look at actually connecting them. And before you connect them, I recommend unplugging the mixer from the power. Now, first up, let's connect our mixer. So we'll connect one set of these to the 2-track out here. And the other set will go to the 2-track in. Some mixers might call this something else like tape output or tape input. Now connect the end from the 2-track output to the input on your computer. Then connect the other cable to the headphone jack on your computer. And once that's all set up, you can now power on your mixer. And now I'll connect my headphones to the headphone jack. And if you want, you can connect speakers or monitors to the main outputs here. Now I'm just going to play some audio back on the computer to make sure everything's set up correctly. All right, it looks like we have a signal going through it, which is great. Now, if you're just using headphones, you can use this 2-track to control, make sure that button's pressed in, and that's going to send the audio to your headphones. If you were using speakers, you could listen back using the 2-track to mix, and then you would control the levels with this. But when you're recording with this setup, you want to disable the 2-track to mix, or else you're going to be recording any audio that's being played back on your computer, along with whatever it is you're recording. So you just want the 2-track to control room button pushed in when recording, and you can monitor yourself through your headphones. So I'm going to connect a mic right now, and then we'll see how that works. Now, before I get into the recording, I just want to ask if you're enjoying this video so far and getting some value out of it, can you please hit that thumbs up button? It really helps my channel out and I appreciate it so much. Now let's jump back in. All right, so I have Audacity open up and you'll notice that I have mic in at the front selected. And that's because that's where I have the mixer connected. I also have the Realtek speaker set as my output, which is the built-in sound card, and that's going into the mixer. So let's give this a try for recording. This is a test of recording my mixer that's connected to my PC without an audio interface. I have my mixer connected to the input jack on my computer currently. And as you can see, I recorded my voice, no problem, and the quality's actually pretty good. You'll want to adjust your levels and get that all straightened out before you start recording. I just did this quickly for now. Your gain control's right here, and then the level of that is right here. You'll also want to make sure that the main fader is set to 0 or whatever level works for you, as this will also control the levels going into Audacity or whatever DAW you're using. Now let's check out what happens if we enable 2-track to mix while recording. So I'm going to put a backing track in there and then I'll talk over top of it and we'll see what happens. All right, this is a test of recording with the 2-track to button pushed in. Let's see what happens here. All right, this is a test of recording with the 2-track to button pushed in. Let's see what happens here. And as you can see, we recorded both the backing track and my voice onto the same track. And this might be useful in some cases, but if you're recording music or anything where you want to adjust the levels individually, you should keep that 2-track to mix disengaged when recording. Now, what if you wanted to record 2 tracks at the same time using this? You would just pan one track all the way to the left and the other track all the way to the right. And then in Audacity, you could record to a stereo track and then just split it like this. And now you have two separate mono tracks, and each one would be whatever you recorded. If you were using a more traditional DAW, you could just select input 1 or insert 1, whatever it's called on your sound card, and input 2 or insert 2 as the other input. Now, this was just the basics of how to connect a mixer to a PC for recording without an audio interface. If you want to see my video on how to connect a mixer to an audio interface, click up here, or click down here to see what YouTube thinks you should watch next. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos from me. Thank you so much for watching. For Simple Green Tech, I'm Zane. Keep creating, and we'll talk soon.